just called me and said I have a package, and this is the surprise that I wanted to join and open it with you, all looking live. Let me know you're with me live so I know this Facebook is working. Click on the like button so I know you're in the room. This is it. This is my book, Your Soul Purpose. I am seeing it for the first time. Come on in. I need a scissor to open it. Come on. See? Thank you for joining me. Here we are. Okay, Harper 1. First time ever that I'm seeing the book hardcover. I've only seen drafts, and I want you to see it with me. Here we go. This is my second book that I am so excited about sharing with the world. This book was channeled through me. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay. I did see the copy. I did see a picture of it. But boy, does this feel so surreal holding this in my hand. There's a little note from HarperCollins Publishers. Congratulations, Kim. Your book is absolutely stunning, and we are so excited to see it inspire readers to discover their soul purpose. Anna and the team at HarperCollins. Well, this is it. This is the new baby. So I wanted to have you come and join me in my home. I would like to talk. I would like to show you what's in the book. I would like to answer some of your questions in a little bit. I haven't done a Facebook Live in a while, and this is definitely cause for one. And so many of you have been asking me, and I know so many of you are at work, and maybe you're sneaking a peek. All right, but don't get in trouble, okay? Because you can watch the replay on my Facebook page. It will be there. Okay, so let's come. I want to come closer. Come closer. All right, of course I have to put my glasses on. I do want to give you guys a little bit of a peek inside of the book, okay? So let's start with the chapters. Okay, so indestructible, understanding frequency, vibration, and universal laws. Who are you? Do you guys know who you are? Do you, if I ask you, who are you? What would you answer me? What would you say? What would you say? Who are you? Take a second to ask that question to yourself. And I bet a lot of you answered by the roles in which you have acquired in your life, such as secretary, mom, wife, sister, brother. Those are your roles. That's not who you are. So this book teaches you who you are. I break everything down, and I want to get right into the meat of everything, okay? So I want to invite you to my table, okay? My husband Anthony is filming this video. Many of you know Anthony. He comes to all my live shows. He's not on The Haunting of with me, but he's pretty much everywhere else with me. So come on over, and honey, why don't you say hello to everyone? Take a second, turn the camera around and say hi.
Hi everybody. Hope you enjoy the book. Bye for now.
Okay, so He's a man of few words. Give me 1 second. Here we are. Okay. Okay, everybody. Everybody who knows Anthony is saying, great job, Anthony. He, I have to give it to him, to my husband. He was so patient while I was writing this book. Nobody realizes what a sacrifice it is for the family of the author, and the time that we take totally trying to get this book exactly the way, well, in my case, the way, excuse me, I'm getting a little movement going on. In my case, the way Spirit wanted me to write the book. So Spirit had an agenda. When you guys know me as a medium, and mostly everything I do is conducted and produced by the other side. You know, we mediums, and guys, those of you who are mediums out there or use your abilities, you know that when you tune in and you're able to receive messages from the other side, our whole lives are run by our intuition, okay? So people say, hey, you know, are you always tuned in? Do you walk around seeing everybody's dead relatives and knowing what everyone's thinking? And I want to say, not exactly, okay? So I don't tune into people's deep, private areas of their life unless they give me permission to do so. And many of you know that by reading my first book, The Happy Medium. I like to compare it to going into someone's house and just rummaging around their closets and their drawers. That's not ethical. So mediums shouldn't invade people's space without their permission. But we do use our intuition on a daily basis. So how many of you probably don't even think about, in the course of a day, how many people unload their problems on you or call you and ask you for advice? They don't just do that with mediums. They do that, believe me, with you. And I don't care who you are. Everybody has somebody that they encounter during their day who has a problem, or and just as empathetic, compassionate people, we feel the need to help or fix, or at least to offer insight. So to many of us, the answers come so easily, especially when you're in tune to your own intuition, your own spirit guides, the higher realms. And that leads me to talk about a lot of what's in this book, okay? So you'll now, since I'm doing the Facebook, the camera's turned the other way, but I know you've all seen the book. It's on my page. And hopefully it's on its way to you, delivered right to your mailbox. If you check out my website, not to get off the subject, but while we're talking about the book, yoursoulpurposebook.com. If you pre-order it before April 1st, you will get a free gift from me delivered right into your inbox. So that won't be valid after April 1st. And it's quite a helpful companion journal that goes hand in hand with this book. It's handy. You can print it out, and you don't even have to print it out, but it asks you and it helps you learn all about who you are and how whatever things about you would like to change, and it guides you through how to change it, as well as it gives you tips, and there's soul kits at the end of each chapter. There's a few meditations that I channeled. In fact, I channeled the whole book. And when I proposed, when Harper called me to write a new book for them, I already knew what it would be because my spirit guides told me. Now, what many of you do not know, and I'm sharing this with you live, is this is not a book I probably would have written if it were left up to me. But many of
but I love it. This is a handbook for your soul. Now, if you are living and breathing and you have a pulse, you have a soul. Okay, I promise you that. If you're on this earth, even if you're not on this earth, you have a soul. The soul is indestructible. It cannot be destroyed. No matter when you leave your physical body, the soul is indestructible. Now, the reason I say this is probably not a book I would have written if my spirit guides did not weigh in. I would have written this book, hands down, but maybe not right now. Maybe I would have written this as my third or my fourth. But they told me, no, Kim, people need this information now. Not 10 years, not 5 years, not even in 2 years. They need it now. And you guys know, when they speak, I listen. They're guiding the ship. They took the reins a long time ago, and I gave it to them. And basically, I am now understanding why they wanted the information that's in this book to come out now. The world is just in such a shambles. Nobody really knows how to navigate the world, number one, but the rules have changed, if you haven't noticed. Every which way we turn, the rules are different now in society, in government, in politics, and social religion, with people with their genders and their identities, but this book dispels and helps you kind of realize where your programming came from, how it got there, and how to change it. And when I say programming, we were programmed, each and every one of us. We come from different backgrounds. We have different families, different family values, different religions. And, very often when we judge others, it's only based on because we think they're different in their thinking. And how do we know that? Because we were raised a certain way with certain belief systems, certain cultural values, and there may be people that weren't. They were raised with different cultural values. So there's the judgment there, and that actually leads to fear. So I speak a lot about fear. One of the things I really want to talk about connecting to your soul is, and what many of you may not have ever even thought about, was the way we keep order in this world is through what? How do we keep order? How do we eliminate chaos? Well, we have laws, right? We have earthly laws. We know what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. We're not supposed to kill. We're not supposed to steal. We're supposed to not talk on our cell phones while we drive. We're supposed to sort of we wear our seatbelts, I think, everywhere now when we drive. There are so many other laws that exist to keep order. But what many people may not have ever thought about, and what they struggle in life more than anything with, is decision making, learning why they're here. So many people want to know who am I? I know my name, I know my job, I know my family, but something is missing. Boy, if I had a dime for everyone who has said that to me, Kim, or has asked me, what can you tune in and tell me what my soul purpose is? And I probably could if I were giving you a reading, and only if I were in tune to your soul energy. I am able to read the blueprint of your soul, and that's one of my gifts. But if you don't have access to a medium and you want to find your soul purpose on your own without having to contact anybody outside of yourself, the soul searching kits are in here. That's what I speak about. That's what the companion journal, your free gift, is. If you buy the book before it releases, and it will be delivered to your mailbox by April 2nd, which is the release date. But so getting back, our souls are governed, they're governed by spiritual laws. Okay, so how many of you knew that? And how many of you have never even thought about that? Right? So we can figure out how to live in our world as a physical human being if we abide by the physical laws. Okay, that's cool. We could do that. Hopefully most of us do that. But do you abide by the spiritual laws that govern your soul? That is just as important as physical laws. Because the spiritual laws teach you why things happen the way they do. The spiritual laws teach you we are not separate. I'm not naming the laws right now. They're in here, but I am naming them by giving you the topics. The spiritual laws are finding balance, the law of balance, okay? So if you do anything too much, it's excessive, it's OCD, it's habitual, it's an addiction. Too much is not good of anything, okay? So balance, that's why I'm called the happy medium. I always believe in balance, right? So that's a little catchphrase. That's partly where it came from. The law of attraction, that's a big one. That's one that I think all of you are familiar with, the books that have come out. The law of attraction books, and so many spiritual leaders and gurus have taught that. And people know the phrase, be careful what you wish for, you just may get it. So that lends into that law of attraction. Like attracts like. I go at a deeper level into these laws throughout the book. I give examples of readings that I have done for people when they have not followed the spiritual laws of their soul and then became a spirit on the other side, and the things that they would tell me once they got there, had they only known, had they only listened. And that's what the spirit world wants to teach us. It's not, they don't come to us just to say, hey, let's see what mediums can tell me. And they want to teach you that, number one, the soul is eternal. Doesn't die. It sort of just walks into the next room. It's like changing your costume if you are in several acts of a play. So the play are the different lifetimes, the acts are the different roles and the different costumes we wear, which are the different bodies and the different times we've been alive. The soul has the memory of every life it's ever lived, okay? So it's stored in there someplace. That's why the past life regressions and even regressions back to your childhood can be very helpful for the soul. The soul remembers being in your mother's womb, okay? Somebody can be regressed, because I do regressions. I don't do them publicly anymore, but I've done them, I do them, I know all about them, and I study them, and I'm a big student of that. And the soul can access not only past lives, but in between lives. Okay, but this book is pretty much a handbook to talk about this life we're in, right? Because it's pretty cool to know who you used to be and maybe why you have certain fears. But don't you want to know how to master this particular soul that you're sporting around inside your body? This soul, this is the soul that counts right now. What is it about? Why is it here? What did you, in my first book, The Happy Medium, I talk all about the fact that each of us picked our own lives. We picked our own families before we were born. We picked our bodies. We picked our color eyes. I know you think that had to do with genetics, and it does. But you picked the genetics you were going to be born into, right? So it makes sense. So yeah, I know. I wouldn't pick my thighs either. I wouldn't pick these hips or this, some things about me. But I'm learning to love it all. I'm a work in progress just like everybody else. Okay, and once again, like I said, Spirit works through me to give you this vital information. So I want to dig a little bit deeper into the book. There's chapters on numerology. That's just one example. None of this book is what's woo-woo. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, numerology, astrology. That's all a little bit too much out there for me, Kim, right? All right, well, I thought that too at one time until I learned that these tools that have been given to us, sort of like a toolkit, right? So when we were born, we came here with a toolkit. And the moon, the sun, the stars, the numbers created the universe. Okay, if you're scientific, you already know that. And I have a whole chapter about numbers, sacred geometry. I am the worst in the subject of math. I kid you not. I have to count on my fingers. You don't need to know math to understand what this chapter is and what it means. If you can know a little bit about every topic, then you'll be doing good. And then, of course, you'll gravitate to the topics that you are mostly interested in. But in this book, I speak about your astrological chart and how it's a blueprint. It's a total blueprint. You pick the time, you pick the galaxy, you pick the sun, the moon, the stars, every aspect of your chart, you picked it. And it's all connected to what the lesson or the role that you planned on having when you were here, okay? And many astrologers, before the fact and definitely after the fact, especially when they look at charts of celebrities, then in hindsight, probably they can see it beforehand too. But the picture becomes so much more clear. Let's just say when maybe when Whitney Houston died the way she died, or when celebrities get into politics, or when people get shot and killed in the public eye, a lot of that is clear to an astrologer in the chart. But I speak about sun signs. I break everything down. So this could also be called Your Soul Purpose for Dummies. Okay, but it's not called that, but it could be called that because everything is in the language in which Kim Russo likes to speak. And you guys, if you know me, you know I make it the complicated less complicated. I've done the research. I've done the work. I've talked to the authorities on the other side. I got the scoop, guys. I got the scoop. Now, you may be wondering, like, well, how do I know your scoop is the right scoop? So here's my advice. And this is what I do. Take what you need. Take what resonates. And leave everything else for a later date. Put it on a shelf somewhere. We're not meant to know everything all at once. I think we wouldn't, our brains would be fried, right? Take what resonates and use those tools or dig deeper. And that's what I recommend. But this gives you an overview as to, well, I want to say my own children. My own children. And probably, well, they're middle-aged now. They're in their 20s, almost, one of them's almost 30. And they want to know, not only do they want to know, but they have acquired jobs, corporate, and they are all having a problem with it because their soul is feeling that they don't feel this is what they were born to do. And the newer generation, especially the little guys coming in now, they weren't born to do corporate. I'll tell you what they were born to do. They were born to use their creativity. They were born to have their own businesses, to be their own entrepreneurs, to break out of the matrix. I talk about the matrix, guys. If you've seen the movie, we're living in a matrix, okay? We were programmed. I don't know how many times I want to say it. You know, if you could kind of just think out of the box a little bit and know that there's a higher intelligence running the whole show, And I speak all about that in the book. If you can understand that this is not all there is, that's my life's work. I've dedicated my life to giving readings to people, letting them know that they really, if I weren't able to connect to these loved ones on the other side, there's no way I would be able to come back and bring you detailed information such as names, dates, or predictions, reading the blueprint, medical intuitive. I'm not a good guesser, and none of us are, okay? So I always say the information speaks for itself. So when Spirit wants to impart information, this is the time. We're all waking up out of the matrix, okay? Now, people say, well, what does that mean? Well, even if you'd never thought about mediums or even spirituality, let's just say hypothetically, I hope that's not true. But don't you notice that there's a whole different vibe going on now? It's a whole different world. Anything goes. We're losing the order, and we're playing into the chaos, okay? So we have to get back. We have to get more light into the world because darkness is taking over. Turn on the TV, you'll see that. So, and I don't care. You may be the Dalai Lama, okay? If you are venturing out into the world, you could be so zen, but you have to deal with those who are coming from a lower vibration, okay? And you could even stay so zen. That doesn't work for most of us, right? This helps put everything in perspective. So if you can understand the bigger picture, the way the soul operates, the way the soul is governed by laws, certain spiritual laws, such as the law of resistance, okay? So how many of you didn't get your way, whether it be with a relationship, a job, a friendship, whatever it may be, a role in a, TV show, or a role in a play, or whatever it was that you were hoping for and you didn't get it, okay? Understand that if you continue to go with the law of resistance and resist what the universe is telling you, you're not going to have an easy time. If you sort of just flow into it, allow for the space to be opened for other opportunities to come your way. Okay, so I always say this. What if the plan for your soul is so much bigger and brighter than you ever could have even imagined, or bigger than you ever would have thought you were capable of? Okay, so we learn as we go. It is said that our biggest fears are not because we are powerless. Our biggest fears stem from the power that we know innately we possess. And we were trained, groomed, if you will, to surrender our power to the authorities. You're going to love this chapter of that. And when I talk about the authorities, I talk about the fact that, who said you can't? Tell me who said you can't. All right, so you have guilt. Why? Think about it. Think about why you have guilt. Was it a program? Was it something your mother would have said that you should be guilty of? Is it something you really should be guilty of? You try out for a soccer team in school, and you and your best friend try out. You get on the team, your friend doesn't. Do you have guilt? Probably. We were trained. Step back, give it to the other person because the other person deserves it. When you understand that the soul has a journey, each soul, then you can understand that we can't rob someone of their soul lesson. We want to help, we want to fix, especially as parents. We want to do it all for our kids, for our family, for our neighbors, for everyone. I don't say don't help people, but when we want to rob them of their lessons, you're breaking one of the spiritual laws. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys. I want to see. Hello from Illinois. I love that you're telling me where you're from. Okay. Hi, Daria. I see you. Please send me the name of your book. Oh, well, it's called Your Soul Purpose. Learn how to access the light within. And my first book is called The Happy Medium: Life Lessons from the Other Side. So I love the amount of people that are watching. Hi, John, I see you. Which brings me to, John is a student of mine, a former student who has now excelled to the point of, oh, God only knows. I would love to keep up with each one of my students on a daily basis. But let me just say that he's paying it forward, okay? And that's another chapter in my book. It brings me to another chapter, which is finding your tribe, okay? Finding your team, it's called. I believe it is chapter 6. Let's see. Yeah, find your team. Learn how to love yourself more and become a team player. Because why would you want to go through this life alone? Okay, now, my girlfriends, my students, my colleagues, you know who you are. We have our ups, our downs, we have our gatherings, we feed off each other, we feed each other ideas, and, you know, we're there to help. We need a team that helps us. When we feel all alone in this world, which many of us do, and I'll tell you, we've learned to isolate ourselves because we were taught it's a dog-eat-dog world. Okay, that's fear. You're working from the fear mindset. Yeah, you know, it's not the best world. There are a lot of people out there that are programmed to, you know, be on top and step on anyone they have to step on to get there. But I think I have the best producer, the best collaborator. My guy has the most contacts that the universe could ever have, has the wherewithal, the knowledge, the experience to get me what I need. I don't need to step on anybody's toes. So, you know who my guy is, right? I say guy because it's easier. It's in the book. Higher power, I call him God. I know who said God's a man. I don't know. Doesn't matter if it's a woman too. Doesn't matter. It's a higher source, all-knowing, all-loving, all-encompassing, omnipresent, omnipotent, the source of all, mainly known as love. I teach you how to love yourself, how to know yourself, how to not have guilt, and how there's so much more. This book is jam-packed with, I mean, it's just a compilation of years and years of teachings from the other side. And I've incorporated, like I said, readings that I've done for real people, real clients. And by the end of the chapter, you get the idea of why I included it, because it pertains to that chapter, the law of resistance, the law of balance, the law of karma is another way to say balance. Okay, let's see. Would I ever come to Australia? Okay, the answer to that is yes. I need a list of people who can email me telling me they want me there. Because the people, my publishers, you know, my agents, they want to know demographically if I have a following there. Now, I happen to know that I do, only because I receive a lot of emails from down under, New Zealand, the UK. I just it's not tangible that I can say, here, this is how many people would be interested if I come there. So that's up to you guys. You want to email me if you're from New Zealand, Australia, the UK. I'll hop on a plane tomorrow. I already made the commitment to Spirit that my life is going to be pretty much in a collaboration with them and you. Puerto Rico? You hi from Puerto Rico. Wow. That's exciting. Thank you for telling me where you are tuning in from. It really does help. I love to see that. Many people want to know about my TV show coming back. If it comes back, you will be the first to know. Let's see here. Let me see what we said. Oh, my email. Okay, people want to know my email. Kim Russo at kimthehappymedium.com. Or you can reach me through my website. The contact link is there. Nashville, Tennessee. Absolutely. I would be there as soon as my agent gets on that. Arkansas. I filmed in Arkansas. I love it there. Oh my goodness. London Bridge. Okay, so somebody here, Ryan, wants to know how can you tell you're on the right track in life? What are some of the signs? Well, simple. Remember I said I break everything down. When things flow effortlessly for you, you're on the right track. When you feel lost, confused, empty, that's a good sign right there. Empty. Then you're probably not doing your life's work, your soul purpose, okay? Now, not everybody's meant to be on TV or write books, or please understand that your legacy could be that you touched so many people in your town and you were the most giving, loving soul, or your legacy can even be with one person that you helped in a time of need, and you would reach out to that person on the other side. They would reach out to you. It does not go unnoticed. All things that connect to love. Okay, now I'll break it down because you're probably thinking, oh, Kim, there's anything but love in my office. Everybody is grumpy and grouchy, like the seven dwarfs. But so maybe that's why you're there, to bring some sunshine into the office. All right. Try to always spin everything on its head if you can. If I always say, and again, I go into detail in the book, How to Find Your Soul Purpose, but I always feel that the easiest starting point would be to ask yourself, if you could do one thing in your life, what would it be? Now, if you ask me that, probably even to today, but maybe not, because I made a commitment and I'm absolutely loving collaborating with Spirit. But everyone who knows me knows that it was always my dream to be a professional singer. And I think I did sing with the Angels somewhere. I kid you not. But that's the truth. So I could say, skip this mediumship, author, TV stuff, and let me go take singing lessons. I don't know that I have that, to the extent that I would need that. But I didn't think I would be in this position either as a medium. But what kept me going to get to this point, it wasn't anything I planned, and this is a keynote, was the more people that I saw this gift was helping, just like a doctor, how do you turn away from it? When you have these gifts, use them. People, share your gifts. Be creative. I don't care what your gifts are. You may be an amazing chef, and Lord knows I admire those people. You may be an amazing artist. I admire those people. Maybe there's many people that admire me and my gifts, and I thank you for that. But I guarantee you, whoever is admiring me, I will be admiring you right back for what I don't have and what you do have. Okay, trust me. Trust me when I tell you. So look for what makes your heart sing. Look for what sort of comes effortless to you. Look at what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. Start there. And it usually can parlay. You don't only have to have one life purpose, by the way. Okay? Now, my guides know that my first order of business as a soul, when I came here as Kim, was to be a mother, a mom first. I now know my soul contracted that. Now, I had to do that before I did this. Because if you read my first book, I talk about that my gift didn't showcase itself until my last child was born. It started in the beginning when I was younger. As a child, I didn't know what it was, and I was seeing ghosts. Okay? And what does a child know about that anyway? You can't really help people at that age. They were giving me a preview of my life. And then everything leveled itself out because I needed to be a mom. And once I gave birth to those 3 kids, that's it. The water faucet was turned full force. It's like they were banging me over the head and saying, it's showtime. And I haven't stopped since. Now, Lord knows, I fought it. I kicked. I screamed. I didn't want this gift. I thought it was against my religion. Again, I wrote about that in my first book. The point of the matter is, you cannot dispute, and I cannot dispute, the healing properties that using your intuition, working from your heart, no matter what it is that you do, you will be blessed. And then you will be living your soul purpose. In the book, I give you steps, though. See, we have to, people, that's how people learn. That's how I learned. It's like, well, how do I do that, Kim? It sounds easy, but it's not. I've been trying my whole life. And you may be in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. You may even be in your 20s. And you want to know your soul purpose. And your soul purpose may change as time goes on. That's okay, too. But I think that this is the time on the planet, and this is a big chapter of the book. It's the finale, if you will. This is a different time on the planet. This is a different vibration. This is the time when we are being summoned from the other side to step it up a notch as light workers. Okay, again, you don't have to do readings to be a light worker. You don't have to write books. You don't have to do TV. But you can be a light worker, even if it's in your own family, in your own church, in your own community, wherever, even for your own self. Trust me, you will render a much, much easier life. Okay, I'm late bloomer. That's okay. We have no timelines. By the way, timelines are an illusion. They don't even exist in the spirit world. Timelines only exist for the earthly realm, right? Is this the golden age? This is the age of Aquarius, right? We've heard about that, and I wrote about that in the book. The age of love and light. It's been being sung about since what? The 70s, the 60s? And we're going out of the age of Pisces, which is why we're going to, again, I don't want to confuse you if you don't know astrology, but the age of Aquarius is where we're going to be ruling from our hearts, not from our egos. So ruling from your heart, do what you love. Do something, even if you are at a corporate job. Volunteer on the weekends if you can to hospice or, children's hospital, or I am in love with Jesus. I am in love with Jesus too. I speak all about the Christ consciousness. Jesus's message was love. Okay, now this is not a religious thing. If you think I'm preaching religion, think again. That's another program. Jesus was a master who's mastered the art of loving. My religion is love. Jesus's religion was love. So there you have it. Wrote about that too. I have to keep telling you what I wrote about. This way you will really, understand that this book is probably a must for your arsenal, your library. Okay. Syracuse, New York. Welcome. Love is all that matters. We are all connected, and you already know that. Well, I know that. And I speak about that too. That's one of the laws of the soul, by the way, the law of divine oneness. So thank you for saying that. Yes, we are all connected. Oh, and by the way, I'm seeing your guys' comments, and what I want to point out is, Ashley is so welcome. She said, thank you for writing this book. What I want to point out to you guys is the second we start moving into the heart, working out of the heart, doing what we love, making good on our soul contract, the byproduct of working through the heart chakra is intuition heightens automatically. Immediately. So for those of you who are telling me, oh, I see things now, I know things now, I'm seeing colors, I'm seeing spirits, my gifts are developing, I don't know what to do, or my child's gifts are developing. Children and animals have the natural ability to know things because they haven't been programmed. They are naturally working from their heart chakras, see? No ego there. And when I say ego, I don't mean, oh, you're conceited. I mean people that hold grudges. Like, well, why should I call them? I'm older. Let them call me. That's an ego-based thought. Or, I shouldn't make the first move. I wasn't wrong. They were wrong. Well, define wrong. Does it matter? Ego says it matters. Heart says it doesn't. It matters to the ego. The ego will always be that devil on your shoulder that says, stand your ground and don't give in. Well, I think on some occasions that can be true, right? So I'm big on boundaries. So, when you've given all you can give, there's a fine line there by people that take advantage. That's a whole nother book, actually. So let's see what else we got going here. Yes, I actually do readings over Skype, I do a lot of readings on Facebook Lives. A lot of you have joined me in those Facebook Lives. So energy does not have to be in person, because energy, when a medium reads energy, or any intuitive reads energy, it's energy is not bound by space or time. That's why we can do it over the phone, over the computer. Sometimes, if I'm not hearing your voice, I just would need your first name, because we work off of vibrations, okay? And in my live audience readings, I will say, what is your first name? Because I need to hear your voice. And we work off the energy of the name, the first name, and your voice. It has a vibration. Yes, a lot of people feel blocked in their journey. And I believe the blockage comes in our thinking. Okay, so the blockage might not actually be there, but it's the way we think about the circumstance that is the blockage. I know many people that will speak to me, even people in my own family, and they will say to me, they'll rattle off statistics like, let's just say hypothetically, oh, well, there's no jobs out there. When you live in the heart, every job is out there for you. There is no lack in the universe. There is no lack when you work by the laws of your soul. There's no lack. Order automatically arises. Chaos diminishes. The chaos is up here, guys. It's in your programming. It's in your thinking. It's how you were raised. It's how your family was raised, so they don't know any better. So this book is bringing you into your authentic self. Now, I want to point out, and here's a very, very key point. Your soul is not separate from you. So you may be saying, now wait, Kim, so I have to change my thinking and then find my soul. What if I can't find my soul? What if I don't know if what my soul's thinking? Okay. So what I would say to you is, no. You are first a soul. Everything else is the program. So if we can strip away programs, just like a computer, right? Download a file, remove the file. Download a file for when we need it. A year from that point, you may not need that file, so you delete it off your computer. The mind is a computer, you know? So you put in there whatever it is, and then that's what you get out. So the soul is the true you. And the soul has another, if you will, brain. Okay, so I want to give you an example. So let's just say your mind is taking to get to a certain destination. Your mind is taking a train. And your soul says, why are you taking a train? There's a faster way to get there, you know. And the mind says, no, I'm more comfortable on the train. My mother's always taken the train. My father's always taken the train. This is the train. I like the train. It's comfortable. And the soul says, but there's a much easier, faster, no stress way to get there. Quicker, better, more efficient, and you'll get there in time for the party. And the mind says, nah, I'm comfortable on the train. See, the soul knows the better way. And this is where the conflict comes in. The programmed mind, which is, you were programmed, your family loved the train, you love the train, you're comfortable, set in your ways, not willing to try new things, and the soul is what's pushing you out of your comfort zone. Okay, so the soul is really the one talking to you at all times. And the soul is connected to the higher mind. Now, don't we all want the higher mind's input? Of course we do. The higher mind has all the answers. We're just the puppets. We get in our own way. It's all in here, guys. Anyway, I can go on and on and on and on. I think I have gone on and on, and it's about an hour now we're into this. Let's see. I want to see what else we're writing here. The soul knows. Thank you for repeating what I'm saying. It shows you're all listening. Of course you should listen to your intuition even if you have self-doubt. Gut instinct, right? I feel it in my gut. And then how many of you have said, I knew I should have said that. I knew I should have done that. I knew it. The ego doubts because of fear. Fear of not feeling good enough, fear of taking the safe route, taking the comfortable route. Thank you guys. You guys are writing such nice comments. Julie, of course your mother knows what's going on in your life at the moment. Just as my mother knows what's going on in my life. She passed away on Thanksgiving. And I encourage you to ask your parents for signs. Signs that only you and they know. Private jokes, inside symbols. Ask for it. They'll give it to you. My mother gave me one, and I'm waiting for more. And I always like to say it was my mother's wink from the universe, from where she is. She was winking at me when she sent me the sign. Yeah, listen to. By the way, intuition is not always connected to logic. That's a very important point too. Logic is the brain, it's the left side, like, well, I've always done it this way. I know that'll get me there safely and efficiently, like the train, right? That's the reasoning skills. Intuition has nothing to do with reasoning, because the higher mind knows the way everything's going to play out. The higher mind knows how they're going to get you from point A to point B. It knows the desires of your heart. It wants what you want. First and foremost, it wants what you want. Okay? So if you say, well, Kim, I want to win the lotto. Or you may say, I want to be free of this illness. That's a hard one, because we were trained that we need to suffer, right? And that all goes back to the whole crucifixion and all that. But that's a whole nother story. But the higher mind wants what you want. Remember that. But it wants to give it to you the easiest, fastest way, right? And so then you're in your own head with all these thoughts of not good enough, maybe I don't deserve it, maybe somebody else deserves it, good things never happen to me. All of that talk has to go. It has to go. You were taught that. You were trained to believe that. And I always say, how come anybody else can get it but you? We're all equal in the eyes of the divine. And I read celebrities on TV and in real life quite a bit. And I've told you guys this, and if you haven't heard me say this, there is no celebrity status in the other world. We are all equal. Each soul has just as much of an opportunity as the next. Pennies from heaven. I get dimes from heaven. Yep, today's a dime. Yep. I get dimes all the time. Your mother can help you from the other side, Desiree, as long as she's not interfering with your soul's plan. Absolutely, I believe in guardian angels. Angels have been around since Michelangelo painted them. They've been around forever and ever and ever. Jessica, I am speaking directly to you, because she said it feels like you're speaking directly to me. Hi, Bobby Allison, my best bud. How you doing, Bobby? Another light worker who I am so proud of, and she really, check out her website, bobbyallison.com. No, I just love to cheer on my friends, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do what I do without the love of my family and my friends. Remember what I said, find your team. We all need a team. They don't have to be connected to you by blood. Why do I fear life? You were programmed. You have to deprogram. Get out of the matrix. Has anybody, if you watch the movie The Matrix, life is just like that. Take the pill, do this, don't do that. But what we need to do more than anything, if nothing else, is we need to work from our hearts and our soul. Let the soul guide you. Okay, it has all the answers. It knows every life you've ever lived. It remembers why you were born, even though you may not. So it's kind of inside there, and we can all access it. This is how, right here. I'm not sure if there's any book out there like it. I don't, maybe there is something similar, but I'm so proud of this because my guides wanted me to include everything that people are experiencing right now, including the ascension process. If you know what the ascension process, hit the like or the love button on your computer. I want to see how many of my of my audience here knows what the ascension is. Okay, so we're going into ascension. All right, we're there, people. We're there. What does that really basically mean? Is getting into your heart while you're still on earth, is living heaven on earth. What is heaven? It's not like clouds and rainbows and all that, which it is, but that's just representative of bliss, right? So we're going to always have struggles. I don't want to sit here and act like the mortgage or the rent doesn't have to be paid, and then people losing their jobs. Listen, I'm with you. I get it. But when you become a child of the Most High, and you live from the love center, the byproduct is nothing but abundance. And one of the tips that I give you in the book, and I feel in my life, the one that I use the most, and I remember the most, and I practice the most, is the law of gratitude. Because even if times are bad, but you're grateful to have woken up that day, and you have food in your belly, and you have people around you, or even at the fact that you're just on this planet, is enough. It's enough to be thankful. And when you're thankful, it sort of allows for more things to come into your life that you can be thankful and grateful for. I know a lot of hell going on earth. Absolutely. That's exactly why this book needs to be out there. My guides told me. People are scrambling right now, Kim. They don't know. Because what's happening is we turn on the news. We see things in our lives that are very different from when we were raised, right? So the rules have changed pretty much, and they're changing every day, right? So we don't know, like, what do we do? This is a new way now. This is a new mindset. The kids are a new mindset. They don't even have, a lot of them don't have communication skills. They're looking at their computers and their phones 24/7, and they text from upstairs in their bedroom to the kitchen. It's a little scary when you think about the fact that, we need to kind of procreate and keep this universe going. Listen, if we use our intuition, one day we won't need words, that's for sure. But these kids are taking it a bit too far. I think they're losing communication and social skills too. So we're in a little bit of a predicament here. So we need to teach our children in schools. We need to teach each other in our families. I don't care if you have people in your family that don't want to hear it, or they think you're crazy. Be the example. That's all I can say about that. Be the example. And when people want to know why things don't work out for them, I just have to hear them speak one sentence, and I'll know exactly how their life is. Because the words reflect your life. Your thoughts reflect your life. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Right? There's books out there on that. Change your mind, change your thinking, change your life, all this stuff. But this has to do with the soul. And also, by the way, I want to bring up another point. This book talks about the soul even when it leaves the physical body. The soul is still a soul when it leaves here. We're always a soul. We are a soul first, okay? And the souls are still learning lessons on the other side. They're evolving. They're evolving to, okay, and then they'll come back here on earth, or who knows where else they want to go, or they want to stay where they are on the other side with all their loved ones. but let's get the lessons down pat now. Like, let's just do the work now, so we don't have to have any regrets when we go to the other side. So we don't have to go to school. So there's a soul school on the other side, by the way, where we have to learn like crash courses of things we didn't learn here. But again, yes, a lot of young people are losing their spirituality. I saw your post, and they need something to believe in. Okay, but if you can just let's use our logical brains for 1 second, right? Okay. Hi, Alexa. I see you. The bodies die. The bodies do die, right? Just let's be logical. And all the love you've ever felt in your life, even for the people that have gone on before you, your grandparents, your parents, your siblings, your spouses, whoever, your children, your pets, even your pets, oh my goodness. What's it all for if it doesn't continue? Why is it so powerful when we grieve? I'm asking you to use your logic. The universe would never be created for no reason, with that deep yearning and love for another soul. And we all have yearned for a soul. It could be a pet. They're connected to us through love. Love transcends space, time, and the earth. It transcends every dimension, and it still continues to exist. Okay, so if you can understand that, and then we don't die, just the body dies. We have to get through life without these loved ones, such as I do, and it's not easy. Yep, somebody had a dream of the soul school on the other side. There really is one. Anyway, everything I just said to you, if you can understand the bigger picture of the soul and the laws that govern the soul, yes, you will be living a much better life. So, why must grief cause so much agony? It's caused a lot of agony for a lot of people, including myself. I miss my loved ones every day. And what gets me through is having knowledge about the soul and how the soul evolves and how it does not die. And if you can learn how to get into your heart chakra, remember what I told you, intuition is a byproduct. That includes having your own conversations with your loved ones, because the other side is only able to connect to us through our hearts. Sharon, my hat is off to you. She said, I'm still a skeptic. You should be a skeptic. Do your own research. See what resonates to you. Read the book and see what resonates. It might all resonate, and it probably will, because I break everything down in layman's terms and in everyday lifestyle terms. Okay, not in the airy, fairy, woo-woo world. I don't believe in any of that. I believe we need to make it in the practical, everyday life that we live. Okay? See, really quick, everything I'm talking to you about was given to us as tools. So if you're a master chef, you better show up with the best spatula, the best frying pan, and the best ingredients, right? So you come to this world, you're a master chef, or you're supposed to be anyway. And you come with all these amazing gadgets. But then they tell you you can't use any of them. Put them away. Put them in the closet. You can't use them. Then what do? How are you going to cook? It's the same with our lives. We come here with all these incredible, incredible tools, all of our chakras, all of our intuition, our heart being the gateway to the higher mind, and we were taught none of it's real. Shut it down. Why do they want us to shut it down? Why? So that we won't be more powerful than the authorities. You see? The jig is up. We're onto it. And I know I'm not the only one. And for those of you who are with me, those are the ones that will buy the book, and those are the ones that are here on my Facebook. So I thank you. I commend you for waking up out of the matrix, getting back into your soul. And maybe today is the first day of the rest of your life. I'm going to say it again. Is this time on earth our hell? Doesn't have to be. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Oh, somebody said buy Kim's first book too. Thank you. That has a lot, chock full of information. Even the true life lessons that I teach in my courses, I share them with you. So I see so many people asking me questions, and I want to answer you all directly, but almost everything I'm seeing is in the book, and I'm not just saying it. Who are the authorities? Your parents, your grandparents, law enforcement, the government, your teachers, your coaches. Should I go on and on? Anyone who was older than you that you thought had all the answers. When we're young, we're powerless, and we trust our elders, and we were taught to respect our elders. And a lot of them took that trust as abuse and really did damage to so many souls. Abuse in every form, by the way, okay? And so now we have a damaged society because they were taught these same lies, and they were given these same abuses. I'm not trying to sound negative, but we're in a crisis, people. And we need books like this. Anyway, I am crying with resignation. You speak my life story. Kelly Bryant, thank you so much for saying that. It makes it all worth it. Yes, it will be an audiobook. Absolutely. Kindle. Every form. CDs, hardcover, softcover. I probably won't be out for a little bit. So, if you go to yoursoulpurposebook.com, you can find your favorite retailer, and then you can also, on that same page, insert your invoice number and your name and your email, and then hit submit, and you'll get the free companion journal sent, downloaded right to your device, whatever device you're using. And then you can use it in conjunction as you read the book. Do estranged souls reconnect on the other side? Yes, yes, yes. Because you have to understand that it's like when you go on a witness stand and they read you your rights, right? When you go to the other side, they read you the rights of the soul. Like, listen, this is what you need to do to get things going. You can't, there's no ego allowed. Leave the ego on the earth plane. And if you're still on the earth plane, leave the ego outside the door. That's what I always taught my students. One of my students bought me a sign that said, leave your ego at the door. Because when you're learning this work, you can't bring your ego into it. And I told you what ego was. Is my mom yelling at you? Michael Sipes? She probably is. She's saying, listen to this lady. I'm only teasing. I'm not tuned in right now as far as, channeling the other side, but I can certainly answer questions such as, is your mom together with your dad on the other side? I'll tell you, Lauren, if they had a wonderful connection here, chances are, well, I can tell you most definitely they are. Even if they didn't have a good connection and they had some unfinished business, yeah, they have to connect on the other side. So think about this. love without the ego. You can't have love and ego in the same sentence. It doesn't, you can't. It's one or the other. So love connects to everything good, and ego connects to everything fear-based. Just break it down that way. Can you filter what souls to reconnect to on the other side? Well, I will say this. Good news here. Your free will applies in every dimension. So you take your free will with you. Absolutely. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And therefore, those of you who watch The Haunting of, you realize that there are so many souls that are trapped on the earthly realm because they don't want to leave, because they're afraid and they don't know what lies beyond here. So that's their free will, staying where they are. So yeah, you get to choose. But I think what you'll be told is, and I'm sure of it, actually I read about this too, is forgiveness is your free pass to your happiness. Okay, so I write about forgiveness. There's a whole chapter in this book. Listen, there's nothing my guides left out of the book. Okay, nothing. And I also want, yes, you can download the Soul Journal when you order from yoursoulpurposebook.com. Okay, Scotty thinks he needs your book. Carla, Scotty will have my book. I will get Scotty my book. Anyway, getting back, it's all in here. I don't want to go on and on and on. I probably will have another Facebook Live. And this time maybe we will do readings, or maybe we'll take questions about the soul. And then I can kind of go into that if you'd like. Yes, thank you very much. There are some many soul lessons from The Haunting of. An important show. I have to agree with you. And I didn't plan it that way, but I told you the producers that I have are the best. They produce from the other side. And they have all the best connections. So once again, I would like to thank everybody who has taken time out of their day to join me. I know it was a part of the work day. What email to make bookings? Bookings, bookings for the book or readings. Right now, there are no private readings. That's on my website. I had to hold up the reading list, but that's why I come on Facebook and do readings so that you can win a chance or have a free chance to get a reading from me. Scott, it was my pleasure to share my knowledge with you. And again, this was something that I listened to my higher self to do. I'm very happy at the outcome. I'm so pleased. I'm so excited. I'm just a vessel. I'm just the messenger. None of this information comes from me. It comes through me. So thank you. Namaste. Thank you for having faith in me. Thank you for listening to what I have to say. And God bless you. And until the next time, spread some love. Thank you.